Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Dave here, checking in at the Desert View Tower. Today, we're going to be learning about the Kumeyaï's traditional territories, trail routes, and the various geographical regions that they've inhabited across Southern California, San Diego County, Imperial Valley, and Baja California, Mexico for over 10,000 years. From the coast of the Pacific Ocean to the shores of ancient Lake Kuwaia, present-day the Salton Sea, the Kumeyaï inhabited the most geographically diverse landscape of any cultural group in the Americas. There were mountains, valleys, deserts, and two bodies of water, all linked by the Great Trail. We know this path between desert and ocean today as Interstate 8, and is still referred to as the Kumeyaï Highway. After looking into the past, we'll review what Kumeyaï territory looks like today. Kristen, the museum curator, will be helping us tell the story. Let's see if we can find out where she is right now.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm out driving the Kumeyaï Highway to get a better feel for how these pathways have been traditionally navigated. Although this highway is relatively new, the path it travels has been used by the Kumeyaï for thousands of years. The Kumeyaï had all sorts of paths that took them from the coast to the desert, to the mountains, and anywhere in between. These routes linked the various bands of Kumeyaï to each other, while also connecting them to valuable resource camps and even ceremonial lands. The Kumeyaï lived close to oceans and rivers in small family groups. They were a semi-nomadic people and always prepared to move in search of new sources of water, food, and goods. These highways follow the old system of trails once traveled by the Kumeyaï. Rabbit skins, baskets, pottery, plants, obsidian, and resources they couldn't find in their area were traded for. Trading within the Kumeyaï bands boosted cultural inventory by spreading around tools and materials that were scarce. The drive up the mountains may be simple for us now, but the Kumeyaï often made this trip by foot. The trip from Imperial County all the way to San Diego County is over 100 miles. This couldn't have been an easy task, but a blessing along the route made it bearable. The U-Haul Wells. U-Haul Wells may sound like a mirage, but it was nothing short of a miracle for the Kumeyaï people. We call it U-Haul Wells because this aquifer contains all of the groundwater for the entire U-Haul Desert. This pit stop was utilized for hundreds of years, and although it is dried up today, many people, including ourselves, still make the trip out to visit the wells. So other landmarks of cultural importance are the elusive geoglyphs. So geoglyphs are large designs produced on the ground and are typically formed by altering the landscape. To this day, we do not understand the Kumeyaï people's inspiration for creating these pieces. All we know is that the Kumeyaï would make these large drawings in the sand by removing dark rocks to reveal the lighter sand underneath. This contrast in the earth would act as a brush stroke on canvas. Although the scale of the geoglyphs make them only truly visible from the sky, seeing one from the ground is truly mysterious and amazing. The Blair Valley is a collection of two small valleys. The Kumeyaï camped here, and we can still see evidence of their settlement. They left behind grinding stones, rock art, rich history and culture that we continue to learn from today. The Kumeyaï lived in dome-shaped homes called iwa. The frame of the home was made of willow branches and leaves, and that covering was made from tule reeds, willow leaves, or other brush. One hole served as a door, and another hole was left in the roof for smoke to escape. Although the Kumeyaï cooked primarily outside, they made small fires inside for warmth in cooler weather. Stones were placed around the base of the house to keep small animals out and to protect against the wind. In the mountains, they had sturdy, triangular-shaped houses of wood and bark. Grinding stones were used to grind seeds, nuts, berries, or pigments. Morteros are round holes made in a boulder through the repeated pounding using a long, heavy pestle. Slicks are flat surfaces smoothed by grinding with a hand stone. The longer a stone is used, the deeper it is. Creating the deep, smooth holes takes many, many years and indicates that the Kumeyaï have camped in Blair Valley over a long period of time. Pictographs are paintings that are applied to the surface of a rock. Paints are actually created from various natural minerals. Hematite was used for red, charcoal for black, gypsum or crushed shell for white. When mixed with a binding agent like cactus juice, minerals can be transformed into paint. Typically, pictographs were painted by hand with finger brushes made of agave fiber or sharpened sticks for fine details were also used. The artistic style found here in Blair Valley has been classified by archaeologists as the San Luis Rey style, characterized by red zigzags, diamonds, dots, and chevrons. Today, there are still no definite answers to what the various symbols in rock art mean. However, while we do not know their exact meaning, what we do know is that they were, and still are, very important. Established routes and trails were very successful in helping people navigate the vast desert. Americans used these routes in the 1850s to create a road that actually stretched from Missouri all the way to San Francisco in an effort to migrate large numbers of people west. This road follows many of the traditional Kumeyaay routes, as they were efficient and had many resourceful stops along the way. A crucial landmark for the Kumeyaay is Lake Kuwaia, a body of water known today as the Salton Sea. Lake Kuwaia was once one of the largest bodies of water in what is now the United States. It has filled and receded several times throughout its history, thanks in part to the Colorado River and the hot desert sun. The presence of Lake Kuwaia bolstered availability for resources for the plants and animals of the area. Most importantly to the Kumeyaay, the lake brought with it new edible fish to catch. The Kumeyaay used fish traps made of rocks organized like this to collect fish. The exact way that the fish traps were used is still up for debate. To this day, over 400 of these traps have been found, ranging from 40 feet above to 203 feet below sea level. The distribution of these fish traps is great evidence that shows the change in the size that Lake Kuwaia has seen over times it has dried. So thank you for joining us today as we explore the Kumeyaay's trail routes, diverse geographical locations, and evidence of their rich 10,000-year history here in Imperial County and the eastern San Diego region. So I hope you guys learned a lot today. I know that I did. So the next time that you take a trip to the beach or the desert, just remember and appreciate the travels and efforts of the Kumeyaay. So thanks for joining us today. Catch you next time.